under the phrase. Well, you know, President Tinubu actually came with some shocker. The truth and the fact is that subsidy removal is actually a nice concept because the core goal of subsidy removal is to ensure that corruption is being reduced to the barest minimum level. And at the same time, the essence of removing, thank you, sir, the essence of removing subsidy is to ensure that government can actually have more room to save money and divert it for development of critical infrastructure. You know, at least President Tinubu, before he became the president, he has always been talking about subsidy removal. The obedient Peter Obi has as well been talking about subsidy removal, and Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, they've all been talking about subsidy removal. So that means that subsidy removal is a necessity in Nigeria. So we cannot go about that far because it has started in 1999. They did the first phase in 1990, between 1999 to 2003 to 2007. It stopped around 2007 to 2010. But when Jonathan wanted to resume the last phase of the removal, these people that are in government today were the ones that even argued against the removal of the subsidy on three main issues. The number one, they complained about the issue of unemployment, increasing unemployment rate in Nigeria. Number two, they complained about the increasing inflation in Nigeria. And number three, they complained about the risk involved. In fact, some of them even said that subsidy is a necessity. And that was what Buhari and Tinubu were doing with El-Rufai. That was what they were doing in Abuja those days, protesting on the street of Abuja. Now, coming to today, should subsidy have been removed by Asiwaju? Yes, it should have been removed. But you know, when it comes to economic analysis, or when it comes to microeconomic analysis, there is a way you present a particular statement that will actually go well with citizens. And we have two ways you can actually analyze a political statement. The first, we call one hawkish tone. Hawkish tone is when you are trying to express something in an aggressive manner. The other one is the mid-tone, when you are trying to actually persuade people to do something and in a way that you are compelling them in a quiet manner without causing any kind of disquiet in the public. But what Asiwaju did yesterday, it delivered a political statement in an hawkish manner, in an aggressive manner. And that is very bad of a leader like Asiwaju, who claimed to have experience in leadership, corporate governance, and in communicating the goal of the nation to people. Now, the problem there is that if subsidy removal should take place, it should not be now. Why it shouldn't be now is because there are no facilities, major facilities or major provisions that can actually absorb the shock effect that is going to accompany the subsidy removal. And what are they? If you study in the last 8 years, the GDP of Nigeria has actually been sloping downward, meaning that the way we are producing things is going downward. That means that we are not actually productive as we have in the past 16 years before the APC government, they actually take control of the nation economy. Number two, if you study as well, you realize that the unemployment rate in Nigeria keep going up. And that actually shows that the unemployment rate in Nigeria, it indicates that the country has a lot of people that are yet to get jobs that could actually make them to sustain their daily living. Now, according to the poverty index, according to the NBS, they also made us to know that there are increasing poverty in Nigeria. When we correlate all this together, it shows that if there is subsidy removal, there is going to be inflation. And if there are inflation, if the inflation rate keep increasing, that automatically means that the unemployed, the poor people, and some parastatals, and as well as the private economy, they wouldn't be able to afford the basic need that is required of them to sustain themselves. So if they ought to actually remove subsidy, I am not against subsidy removal, but what I'm against is, number one, how President Tinubu delivered the speech yesterday. That was too harsh and too aggressive. That is number one. Number two was the urgency in that particular speech. He made that speech as if subsidy removal, yes, it's even in place, because the PMB government, they stopped financing subsidy, and that will take place from June. Now, if they are doing all these things, we should have asked them what has been their role in the area of reducing corruption in Nigeria. At least in the past 8 years, the EFCC has not actually been working adequately as expected. Number one is that if they actually deal with all these corrupt officials, the amount of money they are going to get from them will even be much more than the money that they wanted to save from subsidy removal. Because one is very harsh on citizens, the other one is quite needed on the corrupt officials. So I was thinking that President Tinubu should have, number one, delivered that statement in a mild manner that will not actually cause disquiet in the public domain. Number two, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar said something why they interviewed him last year. He said subsidy removal is of necessity, that even if they have to remove subsidy, they will ensure that there is dialogue with the NLC and there are dialogue with relevant stakeholders in the public and the private sector. Then they will now reach consensus before they will now proceed for subsidy removal. But what did these people do? Number one, throughout the 8 years of President Buhari, the NLC fought for salary increase or minimum wage, increase in minimum wage. It was like last year that they increased the minimum wage from 18,000 to 30 something thousand naira. It was last year. That means that these people are not actually ready to even improve the welfare of the citizen by providing adequate economic measures that will ensure that the citizens are adequately cared for. But what they are interested in doing is that they are interested in scoring political points. Because trust me sincerely, what Asiwaju is after in the speech he delivered yesterday is that he wants to be a president that everyone will say, oh, it is Asiwaju that actually did this and did it. Whereas these are started during the PDP era. Just that PDP era is a citizen-friendly party. They look at the welfare of citizens before they implemented their measures. Don't forget that this happened in 2010, but Jonathan was considerate of the welfare of people. That was why it came down. But the way the APC even made the economy is not the way they are living the economy. They live the economy in a good state. Now they are living the economy. Okay, President Buhari is now living the economy in a bad state. Asiwaju is now compounding the problem that is even in the society. So I'm of the opinion that if Asiwaju should have delivered such a statement, it shouldn't have been at the inauguration, because a lot of measures has to be in place before he can deliver such a sensitive speech yesterday. And if they must do anything, it shouldn't be this year. Look at it. For 8 years, the best thing President Buhari could give you is 30,000 naira empower. And you cannot do empower for 2 years, or even coming every 2 years. For 8 years, you can never buy a plot of land with the money they are given. Now, the APC guys, they're always doing one thing. They do compare Nigeria with US, and I do ask them, okay, what is the minimum wage of US workers or people in Europe? What is the minimum wage of people in Nigeria? Okay, let's put it at the end of the month, an average or an entry-level guy that is bidding for a job or eventually get a job in Nigeria is likely going to start with 30,000 naira in the public sector or 35,000 naira. But when you are getting started in other developed economy, you are likely going to earn like 2,000 pounds at the end of the month or 2,005 USD at the end of the month. The question is, can someone who is earning 30,000 naira be able to pay house rent, feed himself, buy clothes, and meet other basic needs? But I can tell you that majority of the people abroad that has jackpot recently, they are earning average of 2,000. They are even doing gara on that 2,000 pounds. They are earning over there, and they can pay their house rent. They are even extracting their tuition from that 2,000 pounds, and they are also sending money home from that 2,000 pounds. So we cannot be comparing how they remove subsidy in advanced country without they are removing subsidy in Nigeria, it is just rough and wrong to be comparing Nigerian system with abroad system. Honestly, APC government or what Tinubu did yesterday should be condemned. You can see now, they've not even removed it. You can see what it costs today.
Since you've said what you wanted to say, Femi, can you please come out so we can invite Bongoli? Then the lady now say who made more sense. So is it you, PDP, or is it Bongoli? Bongoli, don't tell me you don't have, because you have to defend yourself. Oh. Bongoli, you have to defend yourself. Oh. Bongos.
DF, let me leave so you can bring in somebody else.
So don't worry, be there. You have to judge the matter. Where are you running to? You running to? Bongos. Bongoli. Ayodeji Bakari. Hey,
bring Peter or who else? John, your best friend, Daddy Freeze.
He's my best friend. Though. They try. Why can't come on? I need someone from Tinubu's camp.
Olu.
Where is Olu? Is Olu here?
Sheyi, come on.
Your beauty is needed on the live stage.
Yeah, bring Sheyi Ajijola.
Remy always calm energy. All right, let me bring Brother Shupo. In 5 minutes, let's hear what he has to say about subsidy. Oh yeah, Brother Shupo. Oh yeah, John, no day here.
Hello, dear. Hello, everyone.
Oh yeah. He could not join.
Hi.
Hello.
Yeah. How's everyone?
Hi, Brother Shupo.
They ask, now, they never swear at me. They swear at me. Don't first.
I don't know why DF is rolling.
Whether the work favor the people or favor the people, at least start the work. Have you heard me?
Sorry?
I don't know why DF is rolling. I'm seeing him rolling. Okay.
All right, bro. Let's hear from you.
Daddy Freeze. The whole situation is getting worse. I've been outside today. As you can see, I'm actually driving. There's fuel scarcity now because everybody, they are hoarding it. Because I don't understand where a situation happens. They've not increased the fuel pump price with any circular that comes from the federal government or the NNPC. But yet, all the marketers have increased their pump price. Some are selling as high as 700 per liters. Why are we doing this to ourselves? I don't understand. I can show you people stranded at the bus stop right now as I'm driving now. People practically flagging out cars to help them because the bus conductor has increased the price. And I don't blame them. If you see queues at Ozumbambadiwe, I've never seen that kind of queue before. Everywhere, all the filling stations that has fuel, the queues are crazy. I don't know why he did that. I feel it's insensitive for him to just announce such at an inauguration day. Immediately after I came out to come and buy fuel, the queues has already built up. People are barely living from day to day right now. And the cost of transportation, the fares has gone up.
The moment he gets into power, he will remove subsidy. So this is not a Tinubu thing, and let's not make it a Tinubu thing.
I'm not making it like that, but the timing was wrong. The timing
was
wrong. It's not the day of inauguration that you will be saying such.
Why are we delaying?
Now people have capitalized on it. You know the way your country people behave. We are so self-centered. We think of ourselves. I carried somebody from the DPR today. The guy told me that they are businessmen. Okay, you use 5 million to buy fuel now, and when you sell it, you make 6 million. When you now go to the depot to go and buy, you are going to pay for the same fuel. You are going to pay 9 million. How will they get the difference? That's where the problem is, and they have increased their price, whether you like it or not, because nobody wants to lose.
PR should sell at a credit at least the first. Now I understand why the fuel people too are now hoarding, because
they are hoarding it.
Have sense. They should give them a credit line. Okay, we are going to give you this fuel at 9 naira.
Those things supposed to come before you announce such. Because you can't carry people. You cannot carry people and just throw them midway without making provision. Our leaders are supposed to be sensitive to our plight.
Now, Tinubu did not tell them to increase the fuel.
He didn't tell them, but his body language is everybody is what people are listening to. And this thing happened in the time of the military dictatorship. They always listen for the body language.
Hold on. We are looking at a problem caused by the petrol marketers and the petrol stations.
Yes.
But we're on Tinubu. Tinubu did not.
Let me tell you something. There's no way you can remove it, because we are programmed like that. This country, we are programmed like that. Until we break that chain,
no,
we
you cannot tell us the way we are programmed. Can't we reprogram ourselves? Are we rocks?
There needs to be a national reorientation.
I understand
people
get to that the blame is not. Before, I thought the fuel attendants were just greedy.
No, it is the marketers.
But now we invoke the marketers and the fuel attendants. The marketers need to give a line of credit. Okay, you know what? Before, you used to buy fuel 6 million. Abi, how much were they buying fuel before?
Roughly that amount.
And then
when they sell, maybe they make a different margin. The guy practically analyzes that if he's going back, he's going to get an extra 3 million to be able to buy the same fuel he used to buy.
Now, what they should have done is simple. Simple mathematics, but it's just that they are greedy. Tell them the fuel. Did you
hear some weeks ago that they were asking how much subsidy do we pay and how much
Hold on. This matter is as simple as anything. When their petrol finishes, let them sell the new rate at 6 million. Let them, the marketers, sell them at 6 million with a credit line of 3 million.
Exactly.
So when they are,
but as it is right now,
they will offset that 1 million on top of 3 million over a 3-month period.
Daddy Freeze, so, if you don't get money, let me tell you something. As it is right now, for a very long time, if you don't have that money, nobody's going to answer you at the depot. The highest bidder is the one that gets the fuel right now. We are not producing, we are importing. There's a difference.
So if we are not producing, we are importing. Why are we blaming Tinubu?
It's not Tinubu's problem, but it is his body language that causes all this. It's exactly the same way when Biden or the president of the United States talks about something, it affects the stock market. It's exactly what we are going through right now.
Remy, put mouth in this matter. What do you think? Can we blame Tinubu for this? Can we say the body language of Tinubu is what caused an age-old rot in the petroleum products marketing department and the chain of fuel stations? The systemic corruption in Nigeria. He said what he needed to say. But
he said what
body language. What is body language? Are we animals?
I don't understand. We don't love one another. And average Nigeria is ready to defraud you of your money. And that is the problem. We do not love one another. Until we get to a state where we care for one another, I don't think we are going to move forward. And I'm very, very sincere concerning this because I'm very practical. It's something I see on a regular basis.
Okay.
Any small news like this.
Okay. Why are we delaying the evil day? Why
I didn't get that.
We delaying the evil day? If Tinubu did not announce it today,
we would have removed this thing a long time
announce
ago
it
when
tomorrow.
the economy was still
wait.
People
If he does not announce it today, wait. He will announce it tomorrow. Okay, he has announced it. Good. Let's start dealing with it. Let's start dealing with
those. We'll start dealing with it, but as it is right now, people are still hoarding. They have enough fuel to sell, but they are hoarding.
Okay.
They are creating panic.
It's not Tinubu's fault that they are hoarding.
With the kind of people you have to make a plan that will not.
Somebody that started work yesterday for the kind of people that have been in Nigeria since 1960. You understand? I'm sorry, Tinubu did no wrong. Me, I've been waiting for this fuel subsidy removal for.
Likewise, me. Baba, I'm not saying I'm against it, but the problem is that people will capitalize.
Problem. If you want to break up with a girl, there will always be a problem. If you break up in the morning, wait, you will say you broke up with her in the morning. If you break up and in the night, she'll say you didn't want her to sleep, so you broke up with her in the night. If you say if you break up with her when she's on her period, she will say, you broke up when she was useless to you. Anytime you want to, there's no good time to break up with a lady, so just break up.
Well, as it is like this, we'll continue like this until we stabilize. But as it is right now,
you see, when you pour water on the floor, it will find cracks and fill. And it will gather in places where it will gather. It is as there is no right time to make the announcement. Okay, so hold on. So wait, so what's the hold on? We will tell people that in February next year, we will remove subsidy. People will start hoarding from now till February. As it's coming in, he announces it. We have scarcity for 2 months. You'll be amazed that this scarcity will go. The moment they start selling fuel at the regulated prices, the ones that will sell it at 1K.
The forces of demand and supply will regulate the price.
This thing will be regulated in 1 month. Just watch. 1 month.
I know.
So the early,
but people will suffer it too.
This thing,
people are
I remember when, hold on, I remember when Obasanjo was trying to do it during Koja and people were protesting.
I know.
Do you know when Google Koja, Nigeria?
I know, I was there at that time now.
Koja, Nigeria, 2003.
That was when that BMW 3 Series came out.
Yes.
That was popular.
And they were calling that BMW 3 Series Koja.
Koja. I remember. I knew the time.
So,
since we are allowed
they've been back and forth. They've been back and forth trying to remove this subsidy. Back and forth. They've been trying to remove this subsidy. Finally, somebody has the balls to do it once and for all. And then we are still complaining.
You're not complaining, no. At the end of the day, me, I'll find my way and get fuel 247. It will not affect me. But a lot of Nigerians will suffer it. And that's the truth. As it is now, a lot of people cannot even afford transportation to work anymore because their salary is not even enough for the transportation.
Good luck wanted to, they protested. Official Pastor Josh, all right, we're waiting for your take on this matter. If you're watching on TikTok, send me money guns. If you're watching on YouTube and Facebook, YouTube, send me those super chats if you're enjoying the conversation. I just want to hear 1 minute from official Pastor Josh. Over to you.
Thank you, DF. Hello, bro. Bro, I forgot your name. So basically, I think DF is right. From my home point of view, Nigerians don't love themselves. It's as simple as that. Like you said, my brother, people decided to hoard fuel themselves, regardless of what any person. So let's assume Peter Obi comes in. Let's assume Atiku comes in, regardless of when this is being announced. So let's assume
there's 6
he
minutes
announces.
congestion in 2 kilometers.
Let's assume he
You're still on
announces
the
in the
fastest.
next 1 month or 3 months. People are still going to do the same thing, the same reaction.
Thank you.
Regardless.
Yeah, you're right.
And this is what the subsidy is going to do. The moment we get this done, and there's no more subsidy, if you like, sell your own petrol for 1,000 naira per liter. People will come to you if you have it, because it's no more regulated.
Yeah,
Just like in the UK,
right.
if you go to Shell now, Shell will sell their own price the way they want. If you go to Tesco, different prices. So the then is to go to where you want to buy your home from. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So we can't put the blame on Tinubu. The other guy from PDP, the article guy was, I listened to it, and I was like, has the body language. How do you expect him to say it, regardless of how he says it? Even if he says it smiling, even if he says it in a smooth way or in a posh way, oh, I'm going to remove subsidy, blah, blah, blah. It's not going to change anything. So don't come and say, oh, because he said it in a harsh way, then that is why people are holding for. Nigerians are the problems of Nigeria. Not the leaders. Not the leaders. So God bless us all. Let me quickly put that part because my daughter is stopping me here. Thanks, DF. God bless you all.
God bless you, bro. God bless you. God bless you. All right, one more person. Captain, what are your thoughts? Captain Mikano, what are your thoughts? All right, Captain Mikano, over to you.
The phrase, I greet you. How you doing? With our Nigeria team, it really passed us. So I'm in the US, and
Tell me.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I mean, just like the last guy said, Nigerians they are the real people. They are real enemies, because no matter what you do, you blame government. All of Nigeria is a lawless country, very, very lawless country. Even if a gas station change or whatever it is, I don't think it should be. I mean, even if Nigeria really talk about changing the price subsidy or whatever it is, that one are their own problem, because nothing can change, nothing. So, first and foremost, bro, I just want to tell you something. You're talking about Nigerian government, but you're driving. You shouldn't even be on the phone while you're driving, bro. Because just like the man said, Nigerian, we are the problem of ourselves.
If you come into my car, I have a setup for this.
It doesn't matter, bro. If we have to blame the government, we have to start from ourselves. You cannot be blaming the government and you're doing the right and you're doing something. You know what I mean?
Setup that I use for my job on a daily basis. When I communicate with my Uber app, I'm an Uber driver.
Okay.
And I'm using the same setup. I've perfected the art, so I am not breaking any law, any regulation.
Basically, I would tell you, it doesn't matter whether you're breaking the law, but if you listen, this is the thing. Most people are very fast to judge the government, but it starts from us. Like during the election, me, I basically don't care about. I don't care about Nigerian politics. I don't really care about it, because if you like, put God, put Jesus, it will still remain the same. And that's why when they tell me pray for Nigeria, that one of those things is a waste of time, because you will pray, it's still the same thing. Nothing will change.
All right, let's hear Ada.
Hi everyone. Good evening, Daddy Freeze.
Ada, how are you doing?
Fine, thank you. Daddy Freeze, I'm a little bit on the fence here.
Okay.
When it comes to this subsidy matter, I get where President Tinubu is coming from. We're in debt. I think right now our current debt is about 5.547 trillion. Yeah. And how else do we pay this debt? This is one of the ways. But I have a problem with the way the message was conveyed. I have a problem with him, not like I have a problem with my president, but I mean how he put it, right? He just said that subsidy will be removed. English is very simple. Why was it not stated when?
Anytime. It's better he did not state when, because if he stated when, they will, if they stated in August, they would hold the fuel from now to that August.
No, that's our problem. That's Nigerian problem. But you're supposed to at least give people the room to prepare for this harsh decision. Subsidy removal is a lot that it frees.
Are they preparing for a decision for 20 years? How much more room do you want? I just gave you the example of Koja. They protested during Koja in 2003. So Obasanjo wanted to introduce the subsidy. He now scattered everywhere. They protested. He now withdrew the subsidy.
Okay. Still doesn't make it right. This is a democratic government. You just can't say subsidy will be removed. Agreed. He started saying it. That was one of his manifestos. We get it. But again, since there was no... he said he was. He never said it was going to happen on the day of his inauguration. So he just said it was...
to tell you when it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
It's a democratic government. This is not an autocratic system where you just say this should happen and then boom. Just because you are the president, you've assumed the position. Does not give you the right to just declare. It makes us powerless. It gives us no rights as citizens, right? You're supposed to like preempt us.
Person tell you saying go remove subsidy. Those who vote and enter. Peter Obi said immediately. Peter Obi said he will remove. Peter Obi used the word immediately. So I'm not getting this whole confusion.
You should have had even the what's this man's position?
Listen, I think you guys are being pampered too much. I think you're asking for too much. How can they have been removing something for 20 years? 20 years, not 2 years, not 2 months, not 2 days, not 2 weeks. 20 years, and the nation gets poorer and poorer and borrows more and more. I swear to God, Tinubu did the right thing.
But do you know that there are other ways to generate revenue? Exactly. How many of them are working scot-free from crimes that they've committed and they've not been tried in court to return this looted money? How many?
Did Peter Obi say he was going to remove subsidy immediately or not? Hold on. Did Peter Obi say he was going to remove subsidy immediately or not? I have his tweet. He said the word immediately. So if Peter Obi that you all voted for said he will remove it immediately, and Tinubu came and removed it immediately, please, what's the problem there?
The problem is he did not say it get effect. And again, Nigeria our own problems, right?
Tinubu did. I mean, let me tell you what Tinubu's fault here. 0% fault. 0. In tell you what thing go do, and in do una dey vex. Something where una don't they do they come for 20 years. Look, una leave this matter. Or no babe. Where una they pass road no date.
Okay, Daddy Freeze, he made the proclamation. Has anything been done about our refineries?
Listen. What money do you want them to use to fix the refinery? Do you know that the country is hold on?
You can't just
broke country. Now let me tell you something here. When they deregulate this fuel, there's going to be more money. Nigeria is how much are we subsidizing out of the fuel? I think the fuel really costs 1,000 naira to bring in, and we are subsidizing 800. The government subsidizing 800 naira inside 1,000 or something ridiculous like that. Let them take that
and half of the
use it to
subsidy
develop the country.
Somebody else's pocket.
No. When they enter somebody else's pocket, we'll fight that battle when we get there. But for now, this particular one, no, he did nothing wrong.
No, see, if you want to solve a problem, you have to start with the root cause. You cannot just take off.
So listen.
And not fix your refinery.
The root cause is corruption. Buhari spent 8 years doing the root cause. One day, Tinubu entered and said, you know what? Peter Obi used the exact word. He said it is a criminal syndicate. Let me give you his exact words. These are Peter Obi's words.
You are
Maybe
right.
you'll be obedient. This is Peter Obi's words. Wait now. Peter Obi said, and I quote, fuel subsidy is an organized crime, and I will remove it immediately if I'm elected president. Yes. Tell me what Tinubu now did that Peter Obi did not say he would do.
That Peter Obi
he did not say I will remove it in the first year. Immediately I am elected president. Immediately. Tinubu did exactly what Peter Obi said he would do. don't need to put any, remove it first. We can't be removing something for 20 years. And then there was the whole round tripping of fuel subsidy. And people were bringing in vessels, collecting the subsidy money from the government, taking the vessel out to the middle of the sea, and bringing it back again and collecting the subsidy money again.
Immediately is relative. Immediately might
not
be,
relative.
It might be during his first quarter.
Brother,
it might be during his second quarter.
It's immediately relative.
It's not relative because in this situation,
why he did is okay, but the problem is that the impact is not on me, but the people on the streets that are going to feel the impact. Boys.
Yeah, but that phrase, the main thing right now is, I do not really say, okay, they are removing the subsidy or whatever it is. That's not the main issue.
3 times in the last 2 weeks, they've gone to borrow. 3 times in the last 2 weeks.
It was not Tinubu that borrowed, though.
We don't have it.
So anyway, this argument is going to go on forever. The tables are divided. Some people believe the subsidy should have waited. I'm of the firm belief that he did the right thing at the right time. Somebody has to grab the bull by the horns. This thing has been 20 years in the making. 20 years. Time done.
Can I just say something?
Now, let me tell you something. Who do you want to put into trouble? Buhari did not make provision for subsidy in 2023 budget. Do you think it's Tinubu that will draw the budget? So they are handing over a government to him that has no subsidy. So you want him to borrow money to... Baba came and said, there is no subsidy. That is how they wreck a government before it even starts. You don't go give them assignment. Buhari removed, there's no subsidy, but they've been doing subsidy till now. And there's no plan for subsidy. So APC just coaxed the people and then handed over to Tinubu so that Tinubu can go and fail. I love Tinubu for what he did. He come out in hand for the mess. Imagine.
I don't have a problem with the subsidy removal. Like I said, we are owing 5.547 trillion, I think.
Now, hold on.
And this is one of the reasons why not
subsidy
the
for 1 more week?
first?
If they hold on to the subsidy for 1 more week, who is going to pay? The same Tinubu government that tomorrow go and borrow money, and I will say they are idiots. They are borrowing money and they are not doing anything. Baba, remove them. We want to see good governance. Subsidy has been promised us for 20 years. Remove it. We want to see him work. We don't want to see him pet anybody's ego. Let him go there and work.
But at the phrase, again, for me, from what I understand, especially, I watched the inauguration yesterday, and I want to pick one point. I think at this point, we Nigerians, it doesn't matter whether you're abroad, you're home, it doesn't matter your tribe. Like we all know, one of the big problems about Nigeria issue today is tribalism, culture, and religion. And this is like blackmailing, it's like blaspheming the people, and it makes the people feel like they don't have right to speak by themselves. One thing that Buhari said yesterday that really, really triggered me, it made me look at like Nigerians. I will tell you where I'm coming from. He said he's going back to his hometown, and he would rather be with his cows than to be that his cow will listen to him than Nigerians. That's a big no-no. That statement, I know it's a place that I was like, even right here
anyway,
in the United States.
I think we need to end it, but I'm still coming back and I'm exhausted. So we're gonna continue later. God bless you. Ada, thank you so much. Prepare for subsidy. Prepare for subsidy. Otishele, you are muted.
No problem.
Make we prepare. It's not going to be easy, but what needs to be done needs to be done. Yes, it was intensive. Yes, and blah, 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 blah. But if something has been lingering for 20 years and the country has only gotten poorer by the day, I think we've been petted enough, we've been warned enough, we've been told enough. If at this stage anybody is still angry about this, I think that person needs to get themselves checked. Because it's exactly what Peter Obi promised he would do. And he used the word immediately. If Peter Obi did not put immediately in his own, then I would have said, okay, Tinubu rushed. But let's focus on what needs to be focused on. God bless you.
doesn't even matter whether the president, who won't do anybody enter. The problem should be the marketer, because they took other